In today's video, I'm going to introduce you to Davinci Resolve. So this video is for total beginners who don't even know how the program works, and we are gonna go step by step through everything that you need to know to get started in Davinci Resolve. So when you load Resolve, this is probably what you're gonna see. It is a media page. As you can see here down at the bottom, we have media page, cut page, edit page, fusion page, color page, Fairlight page, and deliver page. Okay, let's start from the beginning. Let's go to media page. And the first thing we do with starting a new project is go right here to the right side and click on this cogwheel. And here we can adjust our timeline resolution. So you have this drop down menu with different resolutions. Here you just click this if you want to create shorts, and it automatically changes the resolution to the vertical one. Let's get this back. And also here you can change the frame rate. For now, we'll leave everything as it was and just click save. So here you can add your media to the project and organize it however you see fit. As you can see here on the left side, we have our folders. So let's, for example, click on the first one, and everything in this folder is right here. As you can see, for example, let's add this. So just click it and drag it and drop it in. Now it is in our media pool for our project. How do we organize this media that we have added in? It's really easy. Right here, you go right click and create new bin. You can name it whatever you want. Let's name this one footage, and you can simply just add your media to the footage folder, and now it's inside. If we go to somewhere like the edit page, now we have this master right here on the left, and then we have our folder that we have created, footage folder, and when we click it, we have this media available for dragging and dropping right into our timeline. Okay, right, let's go back to the media page. Let's delete this. Okay, here I have prepared two clips for us to edit and play with. So let's drag our folder and put it right inside. Okay, now we have these two clips added to our project. So this is basically it for media page. You can just add your media in and organize it however you want. Let's say if you have split audio and video, you can make two bins, one with video, one with the audio, and just put everything right here. If you're using sound effects and stuff like that, you can organize everything before you start working on your project. Okay, let's move on. Right here, we have a cut page. It basically does what it says. You can cut up videos in this page, but since you can do everything that you can do in this page, in the edit page, we usually always use just the edit page and not the cut page. So let's jump right into the edit page. Okay, now we are in edit page. This may look a bit confusing, but bear with me. I'm going to explain everything. So this right here is where our footage will be shown. As you can see, if we click on our footage and drag it in, it adds it to our timeline. This right here is our timeline. On the left side here, you have your media interface that you can just click and drag and add another clip into your timeline. Or if for the fact, let's see here, I have some sound effects. So we can add a basic whoosh effect. So let's see, now we have added, let's play it. And as you can see, it is added right in and we can hear it. So here on the bottom left, we have our toolbox interface. Here you can search for every pre-made video transition, audio transition, your titles, generators, effects, and everything else. But we will get to this later. The most important thing in Davinci Resolve when you're editing is this right here on the top right corner. It is called the inspector. As you can see here, if we click it, we can expand it and we can make it smaller. So what can we do in our inspector? Here you have a lot of options, and they are transform, cropping, dynamic zoom, composite, speed change, stabilization, lens correction, retime and scaling, and super scale. Let's start with the most basic that is transformed. So we select our clip right here, and then when we zoom it in, oh, would you look at that? It actually zooms in. Okay, we can zoom it out. Nice. We can change the position right here. And if you want to reset what you're already done and you don't like it, you just go to the text right here and double click it. So zoom is restarted and position is restarted. Here we also have our rotation angles. We have pitch and yawn. As you can see, we have clip image horizontal, clip image vertical. So let's jump over to our cropping. Cropping is basically what it says. It crops the image from the side that you have chosen. So here, crop left, we are cropping it from the left, crop right, crop top, bottom, and you can change your softness. So it's not really that harsh. Let's reset everything. Here we have dynamic zoom. If we check, then our image will have automatic zoom in or zoom out effects. If we switch it to something ease in and out, let's disable this for a second. Now it is zooming out, and you can swap your zoom in or zoom out with this swap button, depending if you want it to zoom in or zoom out. So, okay, let's turn that off for a second. Here we have a composite mode as well as opacity. So if we don't want our image to be fully seen, we can just change the opacity and it will disappear if we drag it all the way to 0. Also, there are a lot of modes right here. You can play with this and find out what every different composite mode does. So we will go back to normal. Here we have speed change. If we click on it, here we can change the direction of our clip. If we want this clip to go backwards, we can just click this arrow right here. And now our clip is in reverse. So if you want to bring it back, you can just bring it back, and now it's going the right way again. Right here, we have this like a snowflake button that is to freeze frame. If we click on it, as you can see, it cuts our video out and freezes the entire video forward. Okay, let's undo, and now our video is back to normal. Here we can change the speed of our video. So if you want to speed it up by 300%, we just type in 300%, and now our clip is sped up by 300%. As you can see right here. Let's undo. Okay, let's explain this right here. This button right here is to go to the next edit. As you can see, this is to go back to the previous edit. Okay, we get that. This right here is play. That just plays our timeline. This right here is stop. And this right here is play in reverse. So we can reverse. Okay, right here we have some more icons that we want to check out. Right now, selection mode is active. That's just that we can move our clips around however we want. Next, we have this trim edit mode that we can scrub through our footage left and right. But as these clips are their original length, we cannot do that. If we do something like, let's select our blade tool, that is to cut up your image, we are gonna press Alt on our keyboard and then mouse wheel up. That's how we zoom in on our timeline. Let's say I wanna cut just this piece of video out and I want to delete these two. So we can go right here and then select the first clip that we want to delete, press backspace, and then select the second one and press backspace. And now we have just the middle of that clip. Now if we select this tool right here, we can actually change where that middle of the clip begins. As you can see here behind, we have a length of our clip, but we can choose to show just the beginning, even though it was in the middle, or let's say just the end. like this. Okay, let's get it back. This should be enough. And also, if we have cut the clip and we want to bring back our footage, we can just go here on the left, press it, and drag it back out. We can do the same on this side. And again, we have the entire clip back in. Okay, this here is insert clip button, so you can, let's say, go back to our footage. And let's select this one and we can insert that clip back in. But keep in mind that it will insert where your playhead is. Okay, let's undo that. Here we can overwrite the clips. So let's click it and it overwrites from our playhead to the length of this video. Let's undo. This right here is to replace the clip. So let's say I want to replace this clip of the forest with the first clip. I want to have two same clips, so I can just drag my playhead right here at the beginning of the forest and then click this button to swap them out. Okay, let's go back. Let's undo. Right here we have a tool that you almost always want to have on. It is a snapping tool. What does that allow us to do? As you can see, when it's active, I can take this clip and then when I bring it back, it will snap into place like this. But let's say I had this off and when I try to do the same, oh, it doesn't happen. So you always want to have your snapping tool on if you don't want to mess up your previous edits that you have done. So let's turn it back on. This is the linking tool and you use it to link audio and video together. So let's say I want to link this audio with this video. So let's turn it back on. By the way, you do that by pressing D on your keyboard. If you press D, it will turn it off. And when you press D again, it will turn it back on. Okay, so when this tool is activated, if I select both of these clips and then go right click and on the bottom here, press link clips, they are now linked. And if I move one, I will move the other. So if you have to change the position of your already edited clip that has sound and everything and you don't want to mess up the timings, you can use this to move them together to another place. So let's say we want it here. Now this is the first clip and then this is the second clip. We can also go again, right click on our linked clips and then unlink them. And now when I move the footage, the audio stays in place. So let's bring this back like this. Okay, I'm gonna show you now some basic transforms that you can do. Let's say we put these clips one on top of the other, just like this. And when we try to play it, the upper clip is over the lower clip, so we don't see it. So whatever is on top on our timeline will be shown first. So let's go change that. To change that, we can't really do it now in the inspector. As you can see, even if I zoom it out or in, nothing happens. Position, nothing happens. Rotation angle, nothing happens. And why is that? Because as you can see down in the timeline, I have the bottom clip selected. This clip has a red around it. That means this clip is selected. So be careful when you're editing. If you don't select the right clip, you can change some values for another clip that you didn't want to change the values for, and that's how you can mess up your edits. I just want to show you what it does. So now let's select our first clip and let's zoom it out. Oh, as you can see, now our bottom clip is all messed up because we were messing with it earlier because this clip was selected. So as you can see now, let's select the first clip. We can actually zoom it out, zoom it in, or we want to something like this. And as you can see now, we have 2 clips in one. This is just a very basic edit that you can do. What you can also do, if the bottom clip is shorter than your upper clip, you can go right to the end of the upper clip and bring it back. And now they end at exactly the same time. Let's say we want to make a basic slide-in animation of our upper picture. We can go back to our playhead and we can click on it and drag it to the beginning. Also, you can move your playhead with the arrow keys. That moves it one frame by one frame, as you can see. Okay, let's get to the beginning. And here, let's select our first clip. And in the position, let's click this diamond here. This is a keyframe. So we are saving this position one place in time. And when we set our second keyframe, we will be saving that position in that exact place and that time. So let's see how it works. It is a bit complicated, but bear with me. Let's first click our diamond and let's go to somewhere around, let's say here, and then click our diamond the second time. Okay, but what have we done? Nothing has changed. Oh, yeah, nothing has changed because we haven't touched our position parameters. So let's go back to our first keyframe, 0. You also have these arrows that you can jump between keyframes. So let's click this arrow and it goes to the second keyframe. And if we click this, it jumps back to the first keyframe. So let's say we want our upper clip to animate from the left to the center. How do we do that? We go to our position X. Position X is horizontal and position Y is a vertical movement. So if we change our X value to minus, it will go to the left. Okay, now we don't see it. But if we play the video, as you can see, we have that basic animation going from off screen. And why is that happening? Well, on our first keyframe, we have saved this position, minus 2000 on X. But on our second keyframe, our position on X is 0. So throughout the duration of our keyframes, it goes throughout the value of minus 2000 to value of 0. Also, if we change our Y value on the first keyframe again, so let's increase our Y value so it's exaggerated a bit. Now, as you can see, it goes diagonally, so we can increase it a bit more, but not here. Let's go back to the first keyframe and increase it more. As you can see now, it slides from right here to right here because we have keyframed that position in exactly that time on the timeline. But now our movement looks too linear. Let's go to our first keyframe and just reset our Y position. Okay, let's see it again. It goes from here to here, but it is too linear. So let's go to our first keyframe, and on the red diamond right here, we can right click and click this button ease out, and then press the arrow to our last keyframe, and then again right click on it and ease in. So now when we play it, we have this smoother animation going in and out. It's not so linear, as you can see. Now we have our audio clip right here. Let's click it, and in the inspector, new controls show up. Here we can change the volume, we can bring it down, so it's not really, as you can see, it gets quieter as we go down and it gets louder as we go up. Here you have a lot of options for your sound. We can pan it, we can change tones and sounds, and now it will sound very different. So there's a lot of options that you can check out on your own. Because this is just a introduction tutorial, we will skip that for now. Okay, now let's go to our first keyframe, and here let's go reset all the keyframes. So now nothing is keyframed. That's exactly what we need. I want to show you now some effects and or transitions. So first we will cut up our video. Pressing B on your keyboard is a shortcut for your cut tool. So let's cut it here and let's cut it here. Okay, but if we press A on our keyboard. It's a shortcut for our select tool, and now we can go and easily select our clips without worrying that we will cut something that we don't want to go. Let's delete this and delete this, and we can do this exact same thing to the lower clip as well. Now they are here together. So let's play from here. As we can see, it is just a quick cutoff to the next video. But if we go here to our video transitions, we have some transitions. We have a preview right here. As you can see, you can, by scrubbing onto this, you can preview the video transition effect. So right now, let's choose this one, and you just click it, drag it, and get it right in between those two clips. So if you play it now, it looks like this. Now we have added a basic transition. But if we click on this transition now that's between them, we have a lot of options right here to choose from. For example, we can add a border and we can feather it so it's not really that sharp. It will get another look completely. Let's turn off the feather and let's increase our border. We can change the color to whatever we want. We can change our ease to in and out, let's say, and then this animation will go on smoother, as you saw. Here you can change the duration if you want to make it quicker or slower. You can also change the transition type right from this menu right here. So let's go to XY. Now we have completely different transition that happens right where we put it in the middle. Okay, when you select your transition like this, when it's red, you can delete it by just pressing backspace on your keyboard. Okay, let's go. Let's see what else do we have here. We have some titles. So if we add X plus, let's say, it will be on top of it, on top of everyone, because it is one layer above everything. So let's get it right here. And let's say here, nature. So this is now nature. You can change your font right here. Let's choose this one. It only has regular. Here you can increase its size. You can increase it, the tracking, or decrease it, line spacing, whatever you want. There's a lot of options right here, but this could serve for a whole another video, so we'll skip over that for now. You already have some pre-made templates right here from Davinci Resolve. As you can see, if we add this one, and let's add it right here, and let's bring it down so it's like this, and let's type in nature and then below forest, something like that. But we can make it a bit longer so it lasts a bit longer. So let's play it now, and as you can see, it is animating in. So you can go over all of this. These are drag and drop, the text presets. You just click them and drag them on your timeline, but some like effects you have to drop them on. Let's see, these binoculars, if you want, we have to drag it. You see, we cannot drop it on here, we have to drag it on a clip. So right here, as you can see, we dragged it on the second one. If we play it, it will show up only on the second one. And of course, in our inspector, here are the controls for everything here. And you can change blur strength, separation distance, separation strength, vignette size, all that good stuff. And we can turn it off by pressing this button right here, and we can completely delete it from our clip by pressing this button right here. Okay, now in the effects tab right here, we have this adjustment clip. What is that? Let's bring it in. So we have brought it in and it did nothing. Why is that? Well, the adjustment clip is like the empty transform clip, or if you're familiar with After Effects or Premiere Pro, it's a null object and it affects everything that is below it in the timeline. So let's see how that works. So when I have my adjustment clip selected, I want to zoom in to right here. Okay, and when we play it, both clips are zoomed in. So whatever we do to the adjustment clip, it will be transferred to all the clips that are below this. So we can use adjustment clips if we want non-destructive video editing. So you don't have to animate directly on your clip. You can just drag in an adjustment clip and then you can mess with everything right there. And if you don't like it, you can simply drag it off and it goes back to normal. You can delete it and it goes back to normal. So it's very non-destructive way of editing. You can keyframe everything the same on the adjustment clips as we have done before. Let's go to the beginning. Let's keyframe the zoom. Let's go right here at the end and keyframe the zoom again. And let's say we want it to progressively zoom in. So if we go to the beginning, it is progressively zooming in, and we have created some simple edit with these two clips, as you can see. Okay, now we have a fusion composition. Fusion composition is a bit more advanced. If you're familiar with After Effects and Premiere Pro, the fusion page in Davinci Resolve is kind of like After Effects. I have other videos on Fusion. If you want to start learning Fusion, you can check those out. Since this is an intro for beginners, we are gonna skip that. So this here is a Fusion page. As I just mentioned, if you want to learn how to do stuff in Fusion, you can check out my other videos. Then we have a color tab, and this is for our color corrections. You can mess with stuff right here if you want. There are pre-made LUTs and templates that you can use. As you can see, it changes the color of our clip. So here you can do your color correction and everything else. But again, that's a bit more advanced stuff that we will skip over. Fairlight. This is the dedicated tab for editing your audio, for editing everything that is related to your audio in the project. Okay, last we have a deliver page. This is just an exporting page. When we have done everything from media, cut, edit, fusion, color, fairlight, we will go to the deliver page. Here we can change our file name. Let's change this to nature. If you don't choose the location, it will just select the basic video folder in your documents, so it will export it to there. Here we have options for video, audio, or file. Usually we want to export the video, and when we go to render, we go with single clip, or if you can choose individual clips depending on what your project needs. In the format, usually you click on it and change it to MP4 codec. You can leave it at H.264, encoder to audio, resolution right here. I usually leave it at 1920 by 1080, but if my project demands it, I usually preset it before I start editing. Here's a frame rate and the quality and everything else. When you have completed everything that you need right here to set it up, then just click add the render queue, then save it, and when it shows up right here in the top right corner, then we just click render all, and then we wait it for finish, and when it finishes, it says completed in however many seconds, minutes, or hours. So this was the introduction course to the Davinci Resolve. Hope you learned something new, and if you have any more questions, feel free to leave them down in the comments. I will try to answer all of them. And if this video helped you, maybe consider leaving a like, subscribe, and leaving a comment. Thank you for watching, and I hope you learned something new.